Hey guys, it's Katie Taylor, and today is day 2 of the Christmas in July video collaboration with the creative design team. Jama and Andrea have already shared their projects with you. I will have a link to a playlist below so you can catch up, and also stay tuned because we have some exciting news to share with you. So I am going to do a layout for the Christmas in July creative design team collab, and I'm going to try to stay away from Christmas themed products and show you how to use stuff that you have on hand. I am going to be using the buildable tags thin cut, probably this one, maybe a combination of the two. This is on the retired list. If you do not have it, this is another good alternative. You can just see that the tags are a whole lot smaller. So both of these are on the retired list. I can tell you that we are getting more tags and they're super cute, but they're just not these. So you want to grab those if you like what you see here. And then I'm also going to be using the stencils, 2 of the stencils that come in pack number 2. And again, these are on the retired list as well. And I'm going to be using the star and these polka dots, which you've seen me use before. You've seen many of the creative design team use these. And what I love about these is they're 12 by 12. So you're going to cover a whole lot of real estate with just one stencil. I've also pulled plenty of sequins and loose gems just to kind of add to that Christmas feel, to kind of decorate the layout. So let me get this cleared off. I am going to be using a mask, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that mask off camera, and then we will come back and get started. I decided to create the stencil mask with you on camera. So I have my Versamat out and my just scratch piece of white daisy cardstock, and then of course my T-ruler and a pencil. And I'm just measuring about 1.5 inches from the bottom and then almost 2 inches from each side. And then I'm going to draw a line completely across and then draw a line at the 6-inch mark, about 1 inch, 1.25 inches down. And then you can see here I am creating a triangle, or in this case, it will be a Christmas tree. Now I'm just using my paper trimmer to cut out this triangle from the middle of this 12 by 12 white daisy cardstock. And that is what's going to not only create the mask, but because I have such a big area around this Christmas tree, it's definitely going to help and keep all of it off from my base page. So the bottom white daisy cardstock is my actual layout base, and then I am just using some tape to tape down this little masking piece of cardstock. The first stencil I will be using is this star pattern. I love these random stars. Again, like I said, you've seen me and the creative design team use several of these stencils. We just absolutely love them. So I've pulled out 3 ink colors, and I am just starting with one of them and going over these stars. Now the purpose of the cardstock mask is that it's going to keep those stars within that triangle. So my next color is I'm going to be using green apple, and I'm actually going to switch to the circle stencil. Again, my stencil mask has been kept in place this entire time. Now, one thing I don't want to happen with this circle stencil is I don't want you to see all of the various sizes just yet. So you'll see me kind of ink up toward the bottom, and then I'm going to pick that stencil up, move it up a little bit. Again, keeping with those larger circles, it's probably 2 or 3 of those outside circles. And again, just using my blending brush, I find that it works a whole lot better than a sponge blending tool. And then up at the top, I did go with those smaller circles. So I'm just pulling this back to see how that looks. It looks really good, but I definitely want to then just add some color to the mask. Again, there is no stencil over this mask. I am just using it to add some shading to the tree. So to clean my brush, I'm just going to rub it on some of that scratch paper from the mask. Now you can see the bristles are still stained, but things like cleaning these brushes are some of the tips and tricks that we go over with our creatives, give them exclusive tips and tricks and videos. I'll explain more about becoming one of our creatives here in just a little bit. So a tree can't be a tree without adding some shimmer and shine. So I am taking the Gilt Gloss Spray and just sprinkling all of those little splatters all over. Again, keep in mind that my mask is still in place. And then I also have one of our shimmer brushes that I'm also adding some shimmer splatter to. I'm going to save that for later, that part that's on my block. And here is what the finished tree looks like. I absolutely love it. It does need to dry a little bit, so I am going to be pulling out those buildable tags, and I am going to use them to cut my photos into shapes of the tags. So I've done that off camera, and then to keep in line with the same color, I've just taken a scratch piece of cardstock and adding some of that ink to that. And then these buildable tags come with this nifty little reinforcer. There's an elongated one and then even just a little round one. So I've cut those off camera, and you can see here, you just add adhesive to the back of those, and they just finish off that little tag hole just neatly. Again, I wanted to keep in line with that same green that I used for the tree. So I am going to play around with the placement of these tags. So I wanted it kind of a step-by-step. So I wanted the recipe on the left, but then I got to thinking, you know, that really takes all the color away from that left side. And so then I decided to pull out scraps of some paper. Now, again, keep in mind that my goal was to not use Christmas paper or Christmas stamps. So these actually are from the Mix-In, the current Mix-In collection from the July through September catalog. And I just have used toffee, there's shortbread in there, just random colors, and I'm just going to play with some placement, basically matting these tags just to kind of make them pop. Now you can see here I did go back with the recipe on the left, and I did that because I was bringing out these pattern papers and these cardstocks. So I decided that that candy apple cardstock was just a little bit too much. So I decided to just use some scraps. And again, I'm going to kind of play with these, but I'm going to do the majority of the deciding off camera. So while I'm playing with this, let me talk to you a little bit more about an opportunity for you. So for about 6 months, I guess, we have actually had a private closed group for our creatives. That's what we call them. It is a membership, and you will have access to exclusive techniques, exclusive tips, videos that you will not see on our YouTube channel. You will get 8 of us. There are 8 creative design team members, and for a low introductory price, you will get all of us for that price. And then, like I said, it's just exclusive content. You can see where, I mentioned the cleaning of the brushes. Spoiler alert, that is not what we showed in the membership. We actually showed how to clean those brushes. And then we just show some other things. Right now, we're showing how to use scraps. And you would not believe you literally get multiple ways and uses for scraps. So if that is something you are interested in, I will leave a link down below so you can go register. Again, we are only open for a limited time. Registration is open right now, but it closes on Sunday. So you want to get in, you want to invite your friends. We do have a perk if you invite your friends. So let's get back to the layout. Again, you can see here that I pretty much made up my mind on that it's not desert sand anymore. It's toffee. And then that shortbread over to the right. And then here's where I am using the rest of that shimmer brush that was on that block. I just added a little bit of water, and then I'm using that technique where you just take packaging and I'm just smearing it onto my layout base, kind of in the left and the right corners where my layouts will be. While that is drying, I definitely love this gilt gloss spray. So I am going to take some stars. Every Christmas tree needs a star on top of it. So I've just got some random stars, and then I've also got some little kitchen wood pieces that I thought would be fun. So I've got a hand mixer and then an electric mixer. And I am going to color these by using a paintbrush. You might have seen this on a different video. I believe I used this technique on a Christmas card last year, but you basically just want to shake up these gloss sprays really, really well. And then I'm just using a paintbrush to paint these stars. Now, you may ask why I have so many stars. Well, because I can't make up my mind. And even though I held it up to the layout off camera, it's still just, I didn't get the full effect. And so I wanted to make sure that I had enough. Now, the good thing about these wooden shapes or any embellishments, even though they are this gloss spray, which is kind of a gold shimmer, I definitely can use gold stars in another manner. So I'm going to let those dry and then bring out my layout base again. Well, here is where I broke my promise. I did bring out this gold like glitter paper embellishment pack from, I believe, Comfort and Joy, and there is a Christmas. Now, I wanted my title to be Christmas Baking, but then I decided, no, baking's going to be too long, so I am just going to spell out the word cake with some of my wooden letters. So, of course, the Christmas in gold, cake in wood. I could have painted the wood like I did the stars, but I think it really brings out, kind of balances that natural color that's in the toffee that's behind those photo tags. So I am going to this zip strip. Again, it comes from the Mix-In collection. That is what I'm going to feed through these holes of these tags. If you are a follower of mine, you know I just can't stand unkept holes. If you aren't a follower of mine, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But it's just things like little holes and tags. I just think that they need something. So I've just cut those zip strips. I quickly realized that I had cut them too long. So I just trimmed those down, dovetailed the ends. And so you could see both of the colors. I went ahead and cut those two pieces in half. So the one that goes through the hole is kind of like a faux went through the hole. And then I also did some 3D foam dots on the ends just to kind of add some dimension. So we've got those, and then I am going to bring in that star. I played around with a couple of stars, and I end up going with that solid, larger star, and I really think it just completes that tree. You know, that tree is gorgeous in itself. I almost hated covering so much of it up because it just really is pretty. I hope you can see that in the still shots later. But I just decided to go ahead and lay out or go ahead and adhere down my title. The cake is already done, and here I am adhering that Christmas. Now I've got that little whisk. I am going to use the hand whisk, and I believe I'm going to kind of put it over that bottom photo, which is the recipe. Now, if you can't tell, or if I haven't told you before, my husband is actually a wonderful baker. I do all the cooking, but he does all the baking. And so this is his famous pound cake. And so I had talked him into making some color variations for Christmas one year. And so that is his handwritten recipe. That is him mixing it in the middle photo. And then that is the finished product on the right. So you can see here I am using some of the red and green sequins and then some of those gold sequins just to kind of add some extra little shine. And then, of course, you know, color, pops of color. And I'm just kind of adding them around the photos, around the title, and then I'm also going to pull some extra ones and add it around that star at the top of the tree. This layout is actually almost done. I'm going to add just a few more sequins. I'm going to dig for the red and green ones to add up near that star, and then I will add some journaling lines at the bottom underneath my photos to add just kind of a little story, little backstory. It doesn't have to be much. And if you aren't a one-page scrapbooker, let me just tell you that one-page layouts are perfect for little bitty memories like this. You know, I wouldn't do opening presents or anything like that. That takes the full 2-page spread and 4 layouts and all of that. But one-page layouts are perfect for little small memories like this. So here's where I'm adding those journaling lines using one of my lapel, one of my lapins, and then my T-ruler and my Versamat. I am going to bring this in for a close-up so you can see all the shimmer and shine. And then I would love to know, do you do baking or does your spouse? Let me know in the comments below. Here are a couple of close-ups. Overall, I really am happy with how this layout turned out with no Christmas stamps and no Christmas paper, and I'm really loving that stenciled tree. If you like this video too, remember there is a playlist down below and you can become one of our creatives. Registration closes July 17th. Remember, you will get exclusive technique-based classes, access to 8 creative instructors with exclusive tips and techniques and content for a low price. And if you invite a friend, we have a special for you. Next up is Janice tomorrow, so make sure that you have added the playlist, followed that playlist, so you can check out what she has to share. And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you'll be alerted the next time I post a crafty video. I will leave links down to all the products down below, and make sure you like this video. It really helps my channel out and it helps YouTube show you more videos of the same. Thanks and have a great week.